guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I just rolled out of bed like an hour ago. Legit, like 5 minutes ago, I just had a battle with a bug on my wall. I am sleep deprived and have no energy and require caffeine to keep me alive. So that's it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all I had. I just cracked open a monster. That's
Yeah, I
all
was
I
gonna say
had.
he just cracked open a cold one. Hell yeah. It would have been like way more badass and like cool and hip if you just said it was a beer, to be honest. But you know what? I respect you for being honest.
I don't want to. I don't want to falsely represent myself.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, honestly, since you just mentioned it, the battle you had with a bug on your wall right before recording, clicking start recording right now. Um, whenever I texted you asking if you're like still wanted to record like a little bit ago right before I made my ramen, I had to use the bathroom, so I was sitting there on the toilet, and I got done, and then it dawned on me that I didn't have any toilet paper left. So I mean, I guess thank God everyone in my house is asleep. So
Bruh.
it's always fun wandering through the house when you run out of toilet paper, dude. That is so fucking sick.
With your shitty ass.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad. I hate it.
That's why you need to get a bidet.
Honestly, you're right. I don't know why I haven't gotten one yet. I'm weird and I have this mindset of like, oh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's like I just don't get new things that could help me, like a bidet, but I should.
You're not fixing anything. You're just improving what you already have that you know works. You're just gonna
Yeah.
make it better.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just my brain is stupid, but I should invest. It's definitely something that I know is worth it.
Yeah, I bought like a $25 bidet, and it's not very subtle. When you turn in the knob, it goes like 0 to 100 like really quick, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable, especially if it hits the wrong spot. But it's still life changing.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. Uh, okay, moving on to I was gonna say a more serious topic, but this is a fucking shit post too, I guess. You might have raised an eyebrow at this if you like looked at the stuff I put in like the topics chat. But one of the two classes I'm taking in college right now is called managing diversity, and there's a lot of helpful information in there. I'm not trying to downplay like the importance of a class like this or anything, because it does share a lot of very important like trends and statistics and like problems in the workplace, especially with like minority groups and LGBTQ individuals and people of color and so on. It's important. All right. I'm learning good stuff about it. It's fun. It is good. But what I find kind of funny is that I've had to like record a couple reflection videos and write a couple papers about why racism is bad. And let me tell you, it's a little difficult to fill like 3 pages with that sometimes on a, like it's like, man, oh, professor, you're pushing it, man. I don't know, like what do you want me to say, dude? How many ways can I phrase this?
That's so funny. You spent years sitting down on Call of Duty for hours, shouting slurs left and right, and now you can't do this.
Yeah, and now I've gone from that to ending racism with my papers. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, very important work.
Literally. But yeah, I thought that was a little goofy. I also, I'm gonna do a very quick follow up about the story I told I think on the last episode about my whack ass professor, not for this class but my other class I'm taking, about like how if you listen to the last episode you heard me ramble and like vent about it a little bit. I was a little salty, and what I find crazy is that like she hasn't been that bad since that interaction, but just dude, like I just don't understand how some professors can be so inconsistent.
She heard the pod.
Like,
Somebody narked.
what's that?
She heard the pod. Somebody narked.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope she heard everything I had to say about her. Maybe she'll do some self-reflecting as she really needs. But anyway, I just don't understand how they can be so inconsistent with what they say. It boggles my mind. Where like she had a video posted in the modules where you could like it was basically a video that just explained the guidelines for discussion boards and stuff, and she explicitly said that for replies, like if you're replying to other classmates, you don't need to cite any sources just in your initial post, because you're doing a lot of research and other assignments. It's fine. But then so not a lot. I still got like a 98 on the assignment, but like I didn't get a perfect grade because I only used one source, even though when she was talking about it, she or I didn't use any sources in my replies, but in the video she literally told us not to worry about it, but then she deducted points anyway. So I think that's fucking crazy. That self-awareness is just nuts. Like I don't like, how do you not realize it? I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's
It's
pretty
crazy.
insane.
I like, if anything, be consistent. Like, be consistently an asshole or be consistently cool. Like I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, it's just fucking whack.
But yeah, that's all I had to say. It's just like, some college professors be consistent with their word challenge. Impossible, I guess. It's odd. It's a spectacle, really, because I feel like I don't think I would be like perfect, professor from day one if I ever had that kind of job. But like, also, like, how hard is it? How hard is it to? I can't talk. Oh my! I just had a stroke. How hard is it to just be a man or woman of your word? Like, I feel like so many people in the education system struggle with that, and I don't know. It hurts my head.
Yeah,
It
people
hurts my
who
head.
don't like deliver on what they say they're gonna do, or like just say one thing and do another. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's cringe. It's cringe. I hate
I
it.
think it says like a lot about someone when they do that.
Yep. Like, you're either not a good person or just you're just like, so like not self-aware. It's like sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, there hasn't really even been like, I wish I had more things to bitch about. Like, I wish I had another shitty interaction with a professor or something. But like, man, there isn't even that much that's happened in the last 2 weeks of my life that's eventful. What I do find really funny is that even though I had like a week off work, my manager gave me a shit ton of days off. I had like a whole week off of work. And as some of you may know, I work at a Target store. And during my week off of work at Target, I still never stopped hearing about Target from all the shit that we've been seeing on the internet from people
Oh
who are
my
upset about the
God.
Pride stuff. Oh, that shit's insane.
God, I hate people on the internet like just to tweet about, like, I guess, I don't know. I don't think gender identity is politics, but it gets wrapped up in all the political bullshit. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate political people. I wrote this down in my notes. I said, steer clear of anyone who publicly displays their political leaning like it's a personality trait, left, right, or center. I promise you the odds of them committing a mass shooting are very, very high.
Dude.
I mean, it's
That's
true.
crazy.
Honestly.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. Yeah.
Why would you ever like look at somebody's social media profile and they just have like all of their like political fucking accolades on it, and you're just like, or not accolades, or whatever, all like the little descriptors and buzzwords, and you're like, I want to be friends with this guy. No, you don't. That person's insane in the worst way possible, and it doesn't matter what ideology they have. They're insane. I promise you.
Yeah, I think
Even if you agree with them, they're gonna be so insane that you want to get away from them.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like most of the people who I've seen that like just put that on display for like everybody to see, they're like really open about like all their political views and like put it in their bio and stuff. Usually they are like, even if it's for the right things, even if it's for things like I agree with and that like align with my morals and values, if they like advertise it like that, they're usually like really annoying and cunty about it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
That's how you know they fully gave up on having a personality. They just reached and grasped at the one thing that's always like relevant and is always like a massive point of like discussion, and it's very polarizing. And
like all the white girls who cry when hate crimes get committed against black people. They're just it's just the white girls crying about it. That's like a big meme that people fucking laugh about, because just like the white girls who do nothing to like
that's the
remedy
thing.
the
I haven't seen
situation,
that,
but like
thankfully.
like it's one of those like it's not even like I've seen it once. It's like every now and then when something like really bad happens and then there's like all this press about it, somebody will like come in and like make fun of all the people that are like not part of the group that are affected, that like get super emotional and just like do these like weird things, but like don't actually do anything to make a difference. But they, I don't know, it's just like very performative, I guess.
Yeah, it's like thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. I don't know. And all right, let me set one thing straight. I am not a politically involved person, like really at all. I'm not saying if you're not going out there and like being the change and all that, like, oh, you're a bad person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a lazy piece of shit. I don't do anything, but like I don't go on the internet and pretend like I do, you know?
Yeah, and also obviously like I don't think you're like a villain or like you're destined to shoot up a mall if you really like politics. Obviously, like, there needs to be people who care about it. because I don't. That's for one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So it's good that some
Felt that.
people care about it, but I don't know. I feel like despite all the passionate people and all the people out there who are so dedicated and are always shouting their heads off for change, I feel like nothing ever changes. So it's I don't know. That's just my doom or nihilistic brain saying it's all pointless.
Yeah, I honestly, like a year ago, I think if we had this conversation a year ago, I would have been like, "Oh, but no, Leo, it's very important to talk about these things and try to educate people
Well, it is
around you
important.
and,
It's
and all
important that
that
people
stuff."
know about
And
them, about the
oh,
all
it
the
is,
shit
it
that
is,
happens.
it is. But I'm saying like a year ago, I would have been like, "Oh, it's you shouldn't give up on talking about it. Smile, like it's still they're productive conversations. You should still have them, even if some people are walls." But now I completely give up on talking to like anybody with an opposing view
Yeah,
like unless they seem like unless they seem receptive, because everybody I've tried to talk to that has a different like political view or like stuff that gets like wrapped up with political stuff like gender identity, all that stuff. If somebody has a different view on that than I do, they're a brick wall. It's like nothing I say matters, so it's just exhausting. I don't like having those conversations anymore.
yeah. Coming of age, like becoming an adult, like during like this most polarizing time, like politically, like in not just the United States, but like the world, like all these like we're like on like the brink of like worldly conflicts and shit and stuff, and then being on the internet like so incredibly online and I don't know, seeing all the shit that the algorithm feeds you and I don't know. I lost all hope. I have no hope for humanity. We're doomed. We
No,
are
I
we
mean
are gonna destroy ourselves.
no, it's not your fault, dude. Like, humans fucking suck nowadays. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll move on to another topic about how human beings are terrible. On my Steam profile, right? I know this is not where you expected this to go, but on my Steam profile, I noticed yesterday that there's the Jester Award. You can like award, like give people like profile awards that show up like on their profile. And I had the one that it looks like a clown emoji. It's called Jester. I had two on my profile for a while because I got them after fucking after some like DBD post game beef. All right. I'll admit that's what it came from. And yesterday I noticed there was three. I was like, oh, I got another one. That's funny. So I tweeted a screenshot of it. Because I just thought it was funny. And now I logged into my PC today and I have five.
Bro.
I have five. Two people that follow me on Twitter thought like, yeah, this guy's a fucking clown. I'm gonna add more to it.
They're cooking your ass, dude.
They are cooking my ass, man. It's my most awarded thing. I have five of them now, dude.
All right, so we can shift gears from real world stuff, kind of real life, the
I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
pessimism. So I wanted to ask you a question.
Oh.
I want to talk about school again.
Yeah.
Okay, so at your high school, did they have like a separate building, like they have like an alternative like building, like for like the bad kids or whatever?
A separate building, dog. That's nuts. No.
Yeah, my high school had like an alternative program, like an alternative school. It was just like an entirely like separate building on campus where they put all the bad kids. It was like all the kids who would talk back to teachers and like kids who like started smoking weed in like 6th grade.
That's insane. We
And-
never had a separate building.
Yeah, it was like they were in prison, but I was always kind of jealous of them because they were like they weren't in prison. Like I'm pretty sure like their school year ended like earlier. Like from the way it sounded like all they did was hang out. Like it was like they put all the like the bad kids, shoved them in a room, and they were like hang out.
What?
I don't know exactly what I'm only okay. This is pure speculation because I never bothered to actually gain information on it. This is all just things that I assumed just from looking out the window and like walking past the building, like because I had to walk past like the alternative building on my way to the main campus.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought, wow, if only I wonder if I was a bad kid. What if I was one of the kids in the alternative school? How would I have turned out?
Maybe you should have acted up and found out what was going on back there, man.
Maybe, but that took a lot of effort, and that means people have to look at me.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
want
that's
that.
fair. I don't like the attention either. I could never do that. No, dude, there's something else I had in mind. Wait, was there anything else like related to school that you're gonna say?
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell the story about this kid in middle school. There was this kid that I never knew. He was a very, very large kid, like very, very large. He was maybe like 6 feet at like 13 years old. I remember one day he was like in this classroom that was like across from mine all the time. I never knew his name or anything, but like I always saw him like in the halls. And then I remember one day, so my middle school was like next to a train station. You have to cross these train tracks to get to the school. And he was one of those kids who was so large that you could like feel his body heat like behind you, like and you knew exactly every time when he was behind you.
That's insane.
And I remember one day it was like after I got dropped off or crossing the tracks. I feel him behind me. I feel him lean over into my ear, and he says like this, and I'll never forget how he said it because it was so distinct and unmistakable. He said, "You want to die?"
What? What does he?
That
What
was
does he
it.
mean by that?
I don't know what he meant by that. That was the
What?
only. That was the
What
first time I
happened
heard his
after?
voice. That was the only time I ever interacted with him, ever.
What happened after that? Like directly
Nothing.
after, like, what? What?
I didn't know what he meant by that.
Did you say anything? Did you ignore
No.
him? Like,
Oh, I wouldn't say anything.
what the fuck?
I was confused.
What an odd bloke. I don't know.
Yeah, he asked me if I wanted to die,
That's kind of crazy.
and then I never saw him again. I probably have, but I don't know. I never spoke to him. That's like the only interaction I ever had with that guy. I don't even know his name.
That's crazy. Dude, I absolutely hate. I hate living in a small city because there's.
You want to die?
Real as fuck. No, but I hate living in a small city because it'll be like on a day like I am not prepared to like see anybody I know. Like I'll literally just like want to go to the store to get something or like like take. Recently this reminded me of it, like going to the shop to get my to get the inspection for my car done, like just like doing some kind of errand like that, like where I'm not I'm not like mentally prepared for like any like social interaction behind like what I need to do, right? Like I'm just not in that mindset at all, and I just hate it because having that mindset just shits on me when I live in a small city because I'm constantly running into people I went to high school with or running into people I used to work with like a while ago, and I just hate it because like
Yeah, it's the fucking worst.
I'll either be awkward as fuck or I'll like look pretty bad, like I'll look like a fucking bum, or sometimes both, and I hate it. It's terrible. I hate it.
No, it's weirder for me. It's weird for me too because it's like I see people that I recognize all the time, like people I saw in the hall, but they don't know me at all. But I like remember faces like forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's always weird. So like I never say hi to them. They don't say hi to me, but I see people I recognize all the time, and it still makes me feel weird, even though they don't know who I am.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's some people that used to that went to my high school that would come into my work, and I would recognize them when they come in, but I don't know if they knew who I was. So yeah, and when I'm saying that, I don't mean like it's. I don't mean that like I dislike seeing these people. I just wish I was prepared to see these people. You know, like fuck. Well,
Yeah.
I
hate
look like shit
being-
or I'm awkward. I hate it.
I hate being like caught off guard like that.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time my sister like it was like shortly before I had to like leave for work, and I have like this daily routine every day. I wake up at a certain time, I take my shower at this time, and I do this blah 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 so I can leave at this time. And then I forgot what I was doing, and then I heard my doorbell ring, and it was my sister, and she was like she wanted to talk whatever, and I was like I can't right now. Whatever. And she even offered to take me to work, and I was like no, because that means I have to talk to you. I mean, obviously I didn't tell her that, but I was thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her no, like I don't need you to take me to work. But it was, I don't know, it was such a weird I definitely came off like super weird to her, but it was I don't know, just a moment where like I was caught off guard, and I was like, please, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't like it either. Like I relate to you,
Yeah.
and I hate running into people I used to know like unexpectedly or like being forced into like a social situation. I hate it. I don't know. And
Yeah, the thing with my sister is that like obviously like like I live pretty close to my job. Like my job is like a 10-15 minute walk, but obviously if you drive there, it's like you're there in like 3 minutes.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, so she's gonna drop me off, which means we're gonna have to sit in the car and talk. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So
What's crazy? That would make sense if it was like a 10-minute drive or something. But what's crazy is you're like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want this like 1 or 2 minute social interaction.
no, it would have been like 10 minutes maybe. And
Wait,
like
you
I
think
don't. Yes, maybe.
so?
But yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad at like just I don't know. I can't do like conversations like that. Just like on the fly. I don't like being caught off guard. It's weird. Maybe I'm an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot. I feel the exact same way. It sucks, and I don't know if it's like just because I'm awkward or I'm introverted. Probably a mixture of both. I don't know, but it sucks.
And it's also partially because like I know what type of questions that they're gonna ask me, and I don't want to answer those questions.
Yeah, valid.
Like with my siblings, it's always stuff about like college and stuff, and like what my plan is. And I'm just like, you know what my plan is. I told you like a billion times.
Yeah, so it's funny because that used to be how it is between my siblings and I, especially like one of my sisters, because it was like after I did my 1 year of college right out of high school, and I stopped, I took a break. Like every time I would only see her like once every couple months maybe, but like every time I would see her, she'd be like so like what are you like like what are you doing, like what are your plans, are you like back in school, or are you like working full time, whatever. And even if she wouldn't like directly say something like negative, whenever I said I was like, oh, I'm just like working at Target and like I'm not going to school, or like when I first told her that I like dropped out of school, it just felt like I just felt this feeling of um I don't know, it almost felt like a little condescending sort of, but like it's just it set the tone. And like every time I would interact with my like with my siblings, I would know that that question is like is just it's coming. I don't know when, but like they're gonna ask me like, oh, like what are you doing? And my answer is still like, huh, basically nothing, lol, because I don't want to go back to school. And like every now and then they try to convince me to go back to school and like do this or do that instead of just working part time and like hanging out. Or like at one point I was working full time, but like they were also kind of a little judgmental that I didn't have like a long term plan. I was just kind of in the moment. But like now that I'm back in school and I kind of have a plan going on, I never get asked those questions anymore, which is really nice because I can I finally feel like there's no like awkward or just like uncomfortable conversations I have to deal with about that. Thank God.
Yeah, it's funny because the college thing, like the questions also like that still comes from like my family, but it's also expanded beyond my family to now even my friends are telling me that I need to
What?
consider going back to school.
Really? Like your IRL friends?
Oh no, I mean my friends, I mean basically just one. I had a talk with Robert and because he was talking about going back to school. He was like
Oh yeah.
trying to like really sell me on like these online courses I could take, whatever, like to get like
Mhm.
a certification for something. I was like, man, I really I don't want to. I don't want to do any school. I'm very stubborn, and maybe I shouldn't be so stubborn because I could learn some useful shit, but I just don't want to.
So
I really don't.
I feel like I'm in an interesting spot because I think I understand both of your perspectives like perfectly, because like Robert, like yeah, he's spitting, bro, because like there's a lot of these things you can get for really cheap, some of them even covered by your employer, where you can learn really helpful skills or get like some kind of qualification like a certificate or something that can get you like a good job that can like really improve your quality of life, and it's worth it. And like yeah, he's not wrong. But like also I do understand have like being comfortable with with the money you're making and like where you are, and just not having the
Yeah,
fucking
and like there's no
not having the
job that I
motivation
can.
to do anything further. Like I get that like 100%.
There's no job that like that those certifications can get me that I want to do, and I would just be in a similar miserable position, just potentially making a little bit more money. Not worth it to me.
Yeah, I mean it definitely depends on what you would go into, because it could, like I said before, like a long time ago when we were talking about this stuff, there's like you can get like a fucking degree or certificate in like almost anything, at least like with Target's education benefits. And with Walmart apparently it's like pretty similar. I think they use the same company to go through it. So like there's probably like, even if you don't want to change like what you're doing drastically, you could probably like end up with something that gives you like a better job. But also like, well, fuck putting in the effort to like be a student and take classes and learn about all the shit when you like barely have the motivation to do things you're passionate about, like, because that sucks. Like I just never like that's why I didn't do anything for so long, because my motivation was just dead. So
Yeah. If everything fails, if like all of my options dry up and I lose passion for everything, I'm just gonna keep working a normal job at Walmart, or I'll like finally bite the bullet and do what my mom has always wanted me to do and go become a mechanic.
A mechanic? That's insane.
I will force myself to become a mechanic. I don't care.
That's kind of crazy.
I'll become super knowledgeable about cars, and everyone's gonna you'll come to me with questions about your car. You'll be like, hey, I was hearing this sound, and I'll be like, yeah, you probably just need to fix this little piece or whatever. And then I'll become mechanic guy.
Honestly,
and then maybe I'll learn to love it. It's like an arranged marriage. You just have to learn to love each other. You just met 2 days ago, but it'll work out.
I respect the mechanics out there, honestly, because like it's weird because like right now I'm not like a huge car guy. Like I don't care a lot about cars, and I know you don't really either, especially since you don't like really have a car. So
I'll become a mechanic. I'll learn how to fix cars before learning how to drive them.
Yeah, that's fire. But like, I think it's one of those things where like when you start accruing like all that knowledge about something, and you just start to get like really comfortable with it, then you just start to love it. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people like start stuff like that, and they just get the passion as they go, and I find it interesting. Mechanically, it would be crazy though. I can already see it with the fucking with the dad hat on, and just like just going to work underneath the car. I can see it. That image is clear in my head.
Yeah, I'll be stoned as fuck beneath people's cars, and then they leave and they crash immediately.
Dude, chill out. You're gonna give somebody's car back after you hotbox it.
I wouldn't trust myself, dude. Fuck that. They see a guy with glasses and they're like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Trust me, looks can be very deceiving.
Honestly, I think that, like, I guess touching back on the like career and like school thing, I think if it weren't, it's so odd because like it wasn't even my intention. Once upon a time when I first dropped out of college after my 1 year of doing classes, and I like went to like working at Target full time, I intended to just get a promotion with the company and like just keep doing that until like unless something else better presents itself. And along the way, even though I didn't go for it long enough to get my promotion because I wanted to go back to working part-time and stuff, but like along the way I transferred to my like HR position, which I'm currently working in now. And I got that position like I think, man, now it's been like 2.5 years, and I was gonna like keep working towards the promotion after that, but then I kind of stopped, and I've just like I've been happy with my current role in an HR job. And because of that, like because I wanted to move up at one point and I got this along the way and then I stopped, that put me in this position now where like I'm building this like this experience in a role that I'm getting my degree in. And I think that's like setting me up for like to be in like a really good spot, because getting my degree already with like 4 or 5 years of experience in the field under my belt is like super fucking good. And I just think to myself sometimes, like, what would have happened if I just like didn't give a shit about like getting promoted at Target? Like, what would I be studying now? Would I even be in school anymore? Like, I don't like, would I be working full time at another shitty job like Target? Or like,
Did you have an idea of what you wanted to study originally before you like dropped out initially?
Not really. No, I mainly went to college because my parents were like super fucking persistent about it and like wouldn't really like take no for an answer. They're basically like, "Oh, just try it." Well, just try it. If you don't like it, then like whatever, you can stop. And I did my first year with psychology as my major, and I did find a couple of the classes interesting. Like some
Honestly,
of the stuff
I think psychology kind of rules. Like I think I would like if I got into like psychology, I think I'd probably like that's kind of dope.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. Some of the classes I took were like really cool, and I learned some like nice stuff. But ultimately, like I didn't want a career in psychology, and that's just not like what I wanted to do. And I didn't really have anything else in mind, so I just stopped. And I took my 2 year break, and now after like working an HR job for a couple years, I think I would be good if I had like a real HR job. And I say real HR job because I still like work in a store and do a lot of like retail like store things, and it's not like a true like human resources like office job. So but like now that I have like some experience with some of that stuff, I really think I could see myself doing something like that like for a while. And I've picked up and improved on a lot of skills along the way, and like that along with my employer like paying for my school and getting my bachelor's like in a year and a half with experience under my belt, like that's super fucking good. That's like a way better outcome than I thought I would have gotten like a couple years ago before all this happened.
Yeah, you'll basically be able to work like anywhere because there's always new companies and like startups and shit that need an HR department.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
it's like essential for every business.
Yeah, new and upcoming companies will like definitely need that for like a lot of reasons. Like especially like one of the most important things is for like recruitment, because you need to fucking hire people. Like that's a very basic thing that every company needs to do. But also like whether it's like a small company that's just starting up, or if it's a gigantic company like Google or Apple or something, they all have HR departments, and there's always like a need for that. So I feel like I have a lot of like flexibility, I guess, with the kind of company and like the industry even that I go into. I feel like there's like a lot of different things I could do, which I feel a lot more comfortable with, rather than getting something.
You need to find out
really
where Taco Bell like has like their headquarters and try to become HR to Taco Bell like office like headquarters.
Dude, Dude, oh, I would be. Dude, do you know how much I would
or whatever
become
their
like?
parent company is, whatever.
Dude, I'm not joking. If I did that and like I like kept all the fucking like fire items on the menu, I would become a fucking Twitter celebrity.
How would
you know how
you're just in HR.
do you know how do you know how much influence I would have over the internet if I were to pull that? And yeah, okay, you think of just HR, but like what if I work for the company for like 10 years and then I become like best buds with the people who are responsible for making these decisions. I'm like, yeah, you should do this.
You're gonna climb your way to the top.
And then I'm gonna own Taco Bell. Yes, that's my master plan. I'll be the CEO. Yeah.
Oh, it's like your coworker. Are you gonna buy?
Oh, dude! You just. I forgot about that guy, dude. Oh, I missed that dude.
Buy Taco Bell.
I missed that guy, dude. You just like rekindled a memory I didn't even know I had anymore. That's crazy. If anyone's like listening to this, they probably have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But when I first started working at Target, I was just a cashier. I just worked at the front end, and there was this older guy who I worked with and who like trained me at the very beginning when I started. And he was an Indian dude with like with kind of like a thick accent, and I think he was asking me what I wanted to do, and I think at this point I was trying to like move up and like get a promotion and just like see where it goes with the company. So it was like, oh, you're trying to buy Target. It was just the funniest thing. Like he was just like the most wholesome guy, and he said like I was gonna buy Target one day, or like I wanted to buy Target or something. I miss that guy.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, now I've moved on to bigger and better things. It's gonna be Taco Bell.
You're gonna be like the Joker, but you work at Taco Bell. You're gonna walk in with a purple suit with the Taco Bell logo on the chest, like with a Taco Bell like pin.
I mean, honestly, dude, I don't even care what I'm wearing or what I look like, what I'm doing. If I own Taco Bell, like I don't give a fuck, dude.
If you become CEO of Taco Bell, can you just literally become the Joker? Like just wear a purple suit, dye your hair green, just become Heath Ledger Joker, but you own Taco Bell.
Oh, I will. I'll even make an effort to do like a fucking like deranged like walk and have a weird movement like he does, but then just pull out a fucking crunch wrap out of my pocket and start eating while I'm doing it.
And your murder weapon is gonna be a stale Doritos Locos Taco shell.
That's fucked. Now that could kill.
That you break and it's like sharp.
That could definitely kill.
You just stab people, just shank them, or like you like prison stab them. You're just over and over.
What fucking conversation is this? This is nuts.
I wanted to talk about as you know, I've moved around a lot. Well, not really. I've moved around a lot in like a weird way. Like I've lived in like several different homes throughout my life, but it's all been in the same town, so nothing really changes. Mm-hmm. But the last house I lived in with my family, our upstairs neighbors were filthy. And with them, of course, they brought with them some cockroaches, right? And in order to prevent an infestation, because it was getting close, it was getting pretty bad, and they were coming down and bothering us and shit, the roaches. What's called my mom, like she got like some advice from somebody that like they said like to use like boric acid or something like that. Or whatever, she like put it around the house, and eventually the roaches went away. It's pretty crazy, pretty sick, honestly. But like, so I was at work the other day, and I was in like the health whatever product section, and I saw these boric acid vaginal suppositories. And I was like, what does that mean? So I was like, so my association with like my mental association with boric acid is killing roaches. So are they killing the pussy roaches?
Dude, what the fuck? I guess so.
Is that what happens? I know no, there's not a single woman who listens to this or will ever listen to this, especially not an episode this early on. But I mean, what do those do? What is the purpose of boric? What is the actual like functional purpose for boric acid? Because all I know about it is being used to prevent a cockroach infestation.
Damn, girl, you got bugs in there.
You got roaches in there?
Oh my god!
You're digging in there. You're like, you got roaches in here?
I mean, okay. Honestly, I think that would mean the grip is crazy, because the same principle applies. If you see a roach or a fucking rat or bug in a local
roach antenna's like, gotta tickle, bro.
In a local like Chinese or like Mexican restaurant or something, like a local shop, if you see a bug there, that food is gonna be fire. So like, what if the same thing applies here? What if that just means the grip is crazy? Yeah,
because it's gonna be the cockroaches pulling you in.
I'm gonna kill myself after hearing that. Ew, dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah, have fun with that visual for the rest of your life.
That's terrible. Why would you ever say that? I think I'm actually like scarred. I don't even know if I can keep going. That's terrible. The fuck is wrong with you, dude?
I don't know, man. It's just the things I think about.
Ugh, like I think you killed any like possibility of me getting a boner at all in the next week. Like I can't, dude. What the fuck? It's
Well,
gross.
good, because we practice celibacy on this podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. 0 bitches all the time.
Literally, no
Never
one's
forget.
getting fucked.
Oh my God.
No one is fucking. No one's getting fucked. Celibacy, pure. We're a Christian podcast.
Yeah, I wonder how many F-bombs we've dropped this episode so far.
Yeah. Not enough.
True. Also, this is like, oh God, that's such a fucked topic to like to like have before me saying this, but I feel like I might forget, so I do want to bring it up now. I did mention I think I told you like a long time ago there was a guy in the a creator in the DBD community who got diagnosed with ALS like a couple years ago, and the community like came together and did like a bunch of really cool shit and like raised money for him and everything. And earlier today, or I guess now technically yesterday, he unfortunately passed away, which was like really sad news, of course. And he was loved by like a lot of people. He went by Puppers. That was his name on Twitch and everything. And he was like a really wholesome like DBD content creator. And even though it's like really sad that he passed away and he's just at the end of his journey, I do think that it's really fucking cool that like a gaming community like Dead by Daylight, like obviously it's not like the game isn't like a small indie game anymore, like it's grown a lot, but like it's not like a mainstream game, it's not like super popular, but still just through this one singular event, this isn't like counting like, you know, other individual donations people might have made, but this one event that went on for like a few days in the summer of 2021 and again 2022, it was just like a couple instances of like a 3 or 4 day event or something. During that time they got a bunch of creators together and like played a bunch of games and just did a bunch of other DBD content stuff. And they raised $270,000 for him. That kept him going for so long, and that paid for like a bunch of his medical expenses and in-house care and stuff like that. And I think that's fucking awesome. Like I love seeing communities come together for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fire.
And
rip to that dude.
Yeah, rip Puppers. His name is Max. Rest easy, Max. It's really sad that he's passed away now. But like honestly, that whole situation, even though it is tragic and all, I do think it does show that, like, you know, dude, sometimes stupid gaming communities can do beautiful things, you know?
Yeah. COD community
cool.
can never.
The Call of Duty community, dude, if I died, the fucking COD community, you know, like if I decorated the walls with my thoughts and memories, dude, there wouldn't be a fucking GoFundMe for my funeral, dude. People would be making memes about my fucking shit COD clips, you know? They wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, they'd post the like top 10 anime deaths and you like dying off of like a 5-on.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the COD community could fucking never. God.
So you're a fan of John Bernthal, right?
Yeah, well, yes. I don't know why I'm being so hesitant about this. I don't know like a lot about him. I'm not like fucking John Bernthal stan number 32.
Do you know about his
like,
podcast?
I really like his acting. I do know about his podcast, but I don't listen to it.
It's so funny. We need to get you on it. I think we need to devise a plan to get you as a guest on Real Ones with John Bernthal.
Wait, why me specifically? What? I'm confused.
I just think it would be funny because you know the most about him, at least in comparison to me, because I don't know anything about him.
Dude, honestly,
and you're at least like a fan of him, like even like a general fan.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a fucking dope actor.
He's like, it's funny because like his role like in the community, I guess like as like a public figure, he's like masculine military bro, kind of. So he has like a bunch of like retired cops and like veterans on his podcast who like talk about how they had to like slaughter an entire village or whatever. So basically we have to come up with a story to get you on the podcast. I was thinking maybe you, no, you know, okay, no, I had a plan, but I think it's way too dark, especially after what we just talked about.
Oh my God.
It was a really fucked up, like made up story that you could give to John Bernthal that could convince
about like
you on the podcast.
About like how me and my boys were like deployed in Afghanistan like 4 years ago, and how I had to watch each one of them get brutally slaughtered.
Yeah, and then you got a FaceTime from your daughter, and she was very sad that you haven't seen her in years, so she blew her fucking brains out right in front of you on
Dude, what
FaceTime.
the fuck?
And then you go on John Bernthal's podcast, and you're like, yeah, so like, don't go to war.
And he'd be like, "Oh, interesting. Tell me more." It's just,
Yeah,
dude.
and that's it, and that's the show.
I follow him on Instagram, and I see some of his posts every now and then, and I do like most of the time it does seem like a like he either says it's like a retired like cop or like a veteran or something, or they'll literally be like wearing fucking camouflage and it's like super obvious. That's like the demographic he always has on there.
I wonder if John Bernthal would ever have a Nan King veteran.
Oh, what?
Don't Google it.
I
It's
don't.
like
Do I wanna know?
it's like a atrocity.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't want to know then.
Yeah, it's pretty bad actually. That was a joke,
Okay.
bad joke. Actually, no, it's a good joke. But
Yeah,
it
it's a
landed
good-
the way I hoped because I kind of figured you didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I know.
We can talk about
No
it
clue.
after.
Hell yeah, dude. But no, okay. Honestly, since we already mentioned John Berthel, can we just talk about how like disgustingly and like disturbingly good he is at playing deranged lunatics and somehow finding a way to make it really funny in memes? Like I don't get it.
Yeah, all I know is just
Insane.
the clip from The Punisher of him like in the courtroom.
That is like one of my favorite like it's like one of my favorite scenes in like media ever. I fucking love that. It's so fucking funny. Hell, I loved it.
It's just so fucking funny.
Oh my god, that shit is hilarious. Wait, I forget. I don't know if I asked you this before. Did you ever watch Daredevil or Punisher at all?
Nope.
They are very good. I actually I'm gonna go on a little small ramble here about like shows and stuff. There's a lot of new Marvel shows and like MCU shows and movies and stuff that are kind of just I feel like they're to like please the people who just want to see more of the characters and they're just there to make money and like not really serve like a big purpose. And there's a lot of shows like that in the MCU right now and a lot of movies.
It's American anime. It's like shonen anime for
Yeah.
American preteens.
I think it's just oversaturated and there's like a lot of shit and it's really easy to like not know like what's even worth watching because there's so much of that stuff. But all of the like all of I think of the 3 seasons we have of Daredevil right now because we are getting season 4, which is crazy. Season 2 I didn't like enjoy it like as much as the first and the last one, but it was still really good. Daredevil was really good all throughout. First and last season were absolutely beautiful, and Punisher was just amazingly consistent all throughout. Like it's fantastic. Obviously they have the really cool like action and fighting scenes that you'd expect out of like a Marvel show, but they also had a lot of really nice heartfelt moments, and that actually made me like tear up a few times, which is pretty hard because I feel like I'm a fucking wall when it comes to a lot of that stuff. It's hard for me to like get emotional, but they had a lot of really good stuff in there, and I think they developed their characters really super well. And Daredevil and Punisher are fantastic, and I think that there's some. Okay, so like John Berthel blew up for like those funny out of context scenes that people just turned into memes, but like dude, that man he fucking ate on some other scenes that were like more emotional where he's like talking about like his family or just whatever. Like it's just so fucking good. I don't want to spoil anything obviously, but Daredevil and Punisher are very fucking good. I would recommend if anybody's listening to this and wants to watch another show, even if like superhero shows aren't really your thing, I think you'll still like Daredevil and Punisher. They're both very good.
I also have a TV recommendation. It's also a show about a crazy killer man. It's the show that just ended actually. It's called Barry. I've talked to you about it before, and it's so the series finale was so good. I think the whole it's four seasons, and as a whole package, is honestly awesome show. Like it's like the number one thing I can compare it to is literally like a GTA game. Like it's the same like tone as like a GTA game. Like it's like very silly, but it's also like insanely violent and like graphic. But all the characters are like kind of airheads. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a dark comedy, but like it feels like you're watching like what like a GTA TV show would be. Like it's like written like that, and it's really good. And it's very the last season especially was very riveting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, some of those shows are very fun watches, and normally I don't really like care about things that have like a big emphasis on humor because like usually I don't care about it. But lately I've found that like dude, some shows do it so well. Like what you're describing sounds good. Like that actually sounds something I'd enjoy. And I've talked to you about it a little bit before as well. But the Netflix show You is also like fucking crazy because there's at its core it's not a comedy, but they throw in a lot of they sprinkle in a lot of comedy there, in the form of the main character who's an absolute psychopath freak killer who shouldn't be alive, but they throw in a lot of the comedy in that show, of just like letting you hear his internal dialogue in his head, and it is so fucking unhinged and out of pocket. It's the Joe Goldberg internal dialogue is so fucking hilarious. It is so good. Like he'll go he'll like he'll like devise this like insane plan to kill somebody, and then question if it's like right to do that just because they're an inconvenience to him, or like, you know, they have people that they care about. But then he'll like talk himself into it and be like, oh, I can get away with it by doing it this way, and then he'll do it and be like, fuck, am I a bad person? Wait, shit, I gotta cover. Like, it's it's so nuts. Like, he doesn't actually say that, but he just goes
like
on these
constantly like convincing himself that what he's doing is like he knows
Yes.
it's wrong, but he's just trying to like justify it. And
yes, the whole fucking show, dude. The whole fucking show, he's doing all this psychopathic, unhinged shit, and then you just hear him in his head being like, well, I'm not a bad person. This man, he was controlling you. He needed to go. He was in the way. And then he just, oh, dude, he's crazy. He's so fucking crazy.
I guess this is kind of a minor spoiler for Barry, but in season 4, like, Barry, like, he gets into religion. He finds God. And there's a scene where he was going off, like, to kill somebody, and he was, like, listening. He was, like, cycling through, like, different, like Christian, like, pastor podcasts, and listening, like, just trying to find the one that justifies him, like, justifies what he's doing. It was so funny. Every time he would get like to the part of the podcast where like they talk about how murder is bad, he would skip it. You're like, next one.
Dude. He's literally just the meme that I pretend I do not see.
Yeah, it was so funny just watching him just try to find like the right person who like happens to like the right like person with like the right biases that he could like use as justification for his horrendous actions. Yeah, watch Barry. Good show.
Hell yeah. No, that's definitely something I don't know when I'll watch it, but that sounds like I would love it. After watching you and seeing like how I found a lot of that kind of humor funny, I would like that. Oh, you know what? I've been sitting on this one for a while, and I honestly I really don't remember if I've talked about this on the podcast before. I actually dug through the topics and I didn't see it, so I don't think I have. Maybe I've talked about it off stream, but I think it's worth mentioning again because I think it's really fucking cool how really tiny decisions and like small things that happen that are like just very insignificant in the moment have like really big impacts. And that's I guess in extreme situations, like extreme scenarios, it would be called the butterfly effect, where like something like really small has like a fucking massive, like ginormous impact. And one thing I heard this like a long time ago, but I heard it again recently, and I just find it crazy. Like this guy, he was going on a trip, and I forget what plane it was, but like he was his flight got delayed, and he was originally going to go on this, like he listed like the specific like plane it was or whatever, and then he had to like reschedule, and it was like a big inconvenience, and that plane ended up being like one that got shot down, and like every passenger died. Like that's fucking nuts, dude. Like you're that close to losing your life.
I think about that a lot when I would play COD and I would hit triples, because every time I hit a triple it was always after I missed a shot. So it's like, wow, if I didn't miss that first shot, I wouldn't have hit the triple. And that was like every time. So same thing, really.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, that is a butterfly effect, a little mini butterfly effect. Most of my triples are like that too, to be honest.
Yeah, like sometimes I wonder, like back when I was 4 years old and I was talking too much at the dinner table, if my sister hadn't told me, hey, stop talking, you talk too much, I wonder how my life would have progressed from that point forward.
Yeah, dude, for real. And I've been thinking about it more lately because
I stopped talking at the dinner table forever after that.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
That's fine. No, that's valid to bring up, because like, yeah, it's great that one fucking comment now like kind of like dictated your behavior in those like social contexts forever, which is like nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But no, I've been thinking about this idea a lot again lately, because like I've recently met a bit. Oh god, I just smacked my mic. My bad. I recently have been meeting and like being exposed to a lot of like really cool people in the Dead by Daylight community. Even though I've been playing the game for like 2.5 years now, there's like for a while I was like really disconnected from a lot of it, and it's just crazy how like a really small action, like, you know, when a game ends, usually I just fucking click continue and just go next. Like that's what I was doing for a long time. You know, like one day I decided to like actually like like say the gamer shit, like GG, and like I talk to people afterwards, and then one of those people ended up being a homie that I talk to like very often, like like every other day or every day or something, and we play, and like we're actually like good friends now, and I think that's fucking cool. Like imagine if I finished that game and just click continue, I wouldn't be talking to like some of these people.
Yeah, I don't remember
really
the
cool.
last time I like met somebody like on a game and like became their friend. That like hasn't happened since maybe I was like 11 playing Red Dead Redemption 1 like multiplayer.
That's
Like, so like my first couple of friends on Xbox were made that way. But going forward after that, it was always people like I knew like in real life, or like my cousin, or like in his friends or whatever. Like even when I met like you guys, like you, Cody, the friend group, like that was like through Twitter. Like we just happened to I through like COD community and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't meet you guys like in a game, but like
yeah, of course.
I don't know. That is cool though. I don't know. I wish I had like I wish I was willing to do that, to talk to people like in the game.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know. I started doing it, I think, because I've met some cool people from it. So now I just kind of subconsciously just like do it more. Like it just sounds like it just becomes more of like a habit, because it's led to me making some cool friends, and it's really cool. I like that I have like obviously like the people that I have consistently talked to the most, even like since I started playing DBD like in the last couple of years. It has been, and probably always be like our friend group with the main homies. But like it's really cool that I have I guess like a good pool of people outside of that, like I can play, like that play the same game I do, that I can like hang out with and like just talk to about stuff and just be homies. Like it's really cool. I haven't had like actual like I feel like real like friendships with people like online outside of like our like usual group in like a really long time. So I think it's really cool to see. I like that. And for a while I kind of just, I don't know, I didn't really notice I was doing it, but like I kind of shut myself off from like a lot of the like gaming community and stuff like that by just playing the game and going next, and like not really interacting with people, because like a lot of it's really toxic, and that's why I avoid a lot of it. But also sometimes it's
COD
not.
community like kind of fucked with my perception of gaming like communities in general. Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I found my people in the COD community, and I don't need to fuck with anybody else.
yeah, that's how I felt for so long. But like now I'm like realizing like, hey, like dude, it's not always like dog shit. Like sometimes there's cool people out there, and now I try to like I don't necessarily like seek that out, but like I don't shut it down either. Like I entertain it, and it's led to me meeting some cool people, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah. And obviously, yeah, it's nice to have that, because obviously like, we don't game together as much anymore, because none of us really play COD anymore. It's not consistently. I think that was the one thing that brought us all together. So it was like, what the fuck? And now we just hang out, which is fine. But
yeah,
gaming together was fun.
Yeah,
I do miss those days.
Yeah, speaking of which, we got the trip to LA in like 3.5 weeks now. That's pretty fucking sweet.
Yes, that's all I can think about, and yeah.
That's all I can think about. I really hope I really hope a tragedy doesn't happen right before I'm supposed to go out there, and my hair just gets absolutely fucked. I really hope it doesn't happen. There's no reason it will, because like my sister always does it and she does a good job, but like I'm so like anxious about the idea of cutting and bleaching my hair like right before going on the trip. If something goes wrong, I'm just gonna look like an idiot while I'm there.
You just go bald, dude.
Nah, oh dude, oh, I could never do that. Unless I literally can't grow hair, I can't do that.
God, it would be so funny if you got a buzz cut.
Oh my god,
it would be so funny. Speaking of shaving, I shaved my pubes recently, and it's honestly not a good decision. I don't think it was worth it.
What? Huh? Okay, well, I'm surprised, because I wasn't expecting you to say that, but also I'm really surprised because it didn't give you good results. What? Why do you not? What? Huh? It's like heavenly. It feels good. It's nice.
No, because then it starts growing back and it itches, and then like it looks like Jabba the Hutt down there.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have that problem where like there's like way too much detail. I feel like we're getting into, but it never itches for me. Like I shave it and it feels nice. It feels fresh, and then I just shave it again later. I never have any issues. I don't know.
But yeah, I guess I feel like it's only worth it to like shave down there if you're just gonna do it consistently. But I don't want to do it consistently because that's a lot of effort. So it's not worth it in my regard. And also I'm not getting any action. And also it looks terrible. There's Jabba the Hutt in my pants.
Yeah, the only time I consistently did it was when I wasn't maidenless, but now I am maidenless again, so I don't do it actively anymore.
I'm just let it all go. I'm just let all just go full caveman beard. That's what I'm doing. Actually, no, I'll probably shave my beard before the trip, but right now I'm full caveman right now.
Hell yeah! Now we love to see it. I
We're podcasting, looking like ass and feeling like ass.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I wish I hate the fucking genetic RNG I got, dude. I fucking hate my genes because not only is like my normal hair curly, but like my facial hair is curly too. So like I can't grow a long beard without it looking like really curly and messy. So like I get it to be like a little thick, but then when it starts like going further, I trim it a little bit so it doesn't get too out of control because it doesn't like and I don't know, it doesn't look like a long beard. It just looks like a thick caveman beard, and I hate it. So I always have to trim it. And I wish I didn't have such curly hair. It sucks.
Mine's kind of, I don't know. My beard like doesn't fill in on my cheeks. It's like very light of coating on my cheeks, but it's like it all just hangs down from like my chin and like my neck.
Yeah. Mine isn't perfectly filled. Like
neither is mine. It's all an illusion. I like have to move it around and shit.
It looks decent. Like, it's not perfectly filled, but it looks decent. That's not my problem. My problem is that I am now 22 years of age, and my mustache and my beard still haven't connected. What the fuck? Why?
I don't know, man.
That's fucked up, man.
Do you not trim you don't trim your mustache? Like you leave it alone, right? It still doesn't.
Yeah, I leave it alone. I haven't touched it in forever.
That's crazy. I have to trim my stash because it gets too long and it gets like the hairs get in my mouth.
Oh well, I trimmed that. I thought you meant like on the sides that would connect to my beard. I don't touch that. But yeah, I have to trim my mustache because it'll start.
Oh, I have to trim those too because they curl inwards and then they'll get in my mouth.
Oh, I don't have that issue, but the mustache hair that's like directly above my lips, I do have to trim that though because it starts like going into my lips and my mouth and it's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I have that issue with my fucking eyelashes too because I have really long eyelashes for some reason, and like sometimes when I blink, like my eyelashes will just like get caught like inside like my eyelid or whatever. I have to like pull it out.
Mm-hmm. I don't have that problem, but I have to like every time I trim my beard, basically I also trim in between my eyebrows because if I don't do that, my Arabic man genes kick in and I'll grow unibrow if I don't.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I pluck it now, and it's the worst experience every time.
Dude, I used to pluck it, but when I got my trimmer, it has that like small little piece there that's like specifically for like eyebrows and stuff, like for smaller parts of your face, and I just shave it because it's like it's painless.
Easier,
I don't know why.
I think plucking is like better because I think it takes longer to grow back. Does it not?
I think it does.
The hair out.
I think it does take longer to grow out, but like put it this way. I'd rather. So
I used to shave it for a long time. I just recently started plucking, and I think it yields better results. It's insanely uncomfortable.
I mean, if you want to do that, sure. But personally, I would rather spend like 20 seconds trimming it like once every 2 weeks than like 3 or 4 minutes like once every 2 months plucking it and being in miserable pain. But that's just me.
It's understandable, but
plucking it sucked. I hated plucking it.
I did what you do for years. Now I'm switching up. It's a new era for me. You seen my Twitter profile picture? New era.
Oh, the fucking.
We're going full dumbass in this bitch.
The fucking blunt hat or whatever.
It's my Sakurajima. She's wearing a huff weed hat, and her eyes are red because she chiefed a blunt.
Oh, I didn't even realize the eyes are red. Oh my god, I didn't notice that detail.
Yeah, graphic design is my passion. I don't know if you knew that. I'm a little bit of an artist, just a little bit.
A little bit of an artist myself.
That took 3 layers in Photoshop. This is what I wrote in my notes at. Beating off is proof that we never mature. and I'll explain why for a second. Because when you go on the hub, the things you search are still horrendous. Like I still type, like I still search as if I'm 10 years old. Like I go on Pornhub and I search hot girl ass.
No way you do that. What? That's crazy.
Am I revealing too much? Is this like a deep, dark secret? I still like when I search for things, I still just like type in like the buzzwords, like the keywords.
Dude, typing in hot girl ass and search.
That's an exaggeration. It's a little bit more specific. It's more specific, but I simplified it for comedic effect.
Nah, man, that's exactly what you
Now I'm
typed in. I just know it.
embarrassed because your reaction. I was hoping that you would be like, oh yeah, me too. I do the same thing, dude. But you were like,
No.
what? Now I'm embarrassed and now I'm self
No,
conscious
because
about it.
because you said hot girl ass, I thought you were being like 100% serious. That's why I was like, what? That's insane.
Well, what are your searches looking like, man?
I mean, okay,
Are they super specific? Are they super specific? Because if I think you were searching up like super specific things,
No,
you're kind of insane.
I don't think they're super specific.
So now I'm gonna
but, like,
embarrass you. What is it that you search?
I mean, you know, I don't even know how to. Dude, there's no way for me to like talk.
Beautiful
Why are we
girl
talking
hand
about porn?
holding.
What? No, yeah, like actually, yeah. A couple holding hands. This is exactly what I search into Pornhub every time. Yeah. Couple holding hands.
Love and
maybe,
affection.
It may be like every now and then if I'm like really like feeling like if I'm really wanting to get in my feels, it'll be like happy couple intimate moment.
Happy life, happy wife.
Yeah, and then I'll just lay there, and then I'll want to jerk off, and then I'll be sad, and then cry and just fall asleep with zero beating off.
We're a Christian podcast, so I don't know what I was talking about there. I don't know what you were saying. I don't know what jerking off is. I don't know what Pornhub is. I don't know what any of that stuff is. I was talking out of my ass there for a second. I was completely lying because we're a Christian podcast and we don't do anything like that. Let's be honest. Do you think anyone has made it this far in the episode?
Oh, absolutely not. But also, actually, yes. There's a couple people that do. There's a few consistent real ones who watch it, and you know what? They're probably used to us being idiots, so it doesn't even matter. So that's cool.
It's only gonna get worse from here, fellas. Our lives aren't gonna get more interesting.
Yeah. I can't wait for us to get to a high enough number, for us to justify wiping the first like 6 episodes off the face of the earth. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype.
Honestly, like
once we get to like episode like 35, we could wipe them.
Yeah, dude, the murder of those episodes is like so fucking premeditated. Like I'm so ready to unlist or private those. Like
yeah, and the murder of the destruction of those episodes is being documented right now. We're talking about it.
Oh
so,
yeah, 100%.
Warning for people.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be gone at some point. So like, yeah, and
enjoy
I would
them
say
while you can, or don't because they kind of suck.
Exactly. I was gonna say have fun listening to them while they're still up, but also like don't because they're really bad. We were not good at podcasting at all, like whatsoever.
Yeah, like for example, like okay, if for some reason you're an hour and 4 minutes into the newest episode of this podcast and you're like, maybe I should go through the backlog, start at like episode 6.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
Or probably 7. That's like when we like first came back, like from the trip or whatever. Like it was 2 months after the trip. What am I talking about? But I was like after that we started to be more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think episode 7 is a pretty good episode. Like as like
yeah, I think 7 is a good starting point. But honestly, anything after 5 is probably okay. Anything in the first 5 episodes is rough. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not a fan. But honestly, I think I'm spent, Leo. There's not enough going on in my life for me to get. I'm astonished we made it to an hour. I didn't think we'd make it here. But yeah, my life isn't interesting enough to talk about anything else. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Nope. I need another week to come up with more bullshit.
Oh, you know what's insane?
What?
I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd episode ever we didn't talk about music once.
That's crazy.
That's insane. We didn't talk about any music.
Well, all I've listened to for the past 2 weeks is Sleep Token, so I don't have a whole lot to say about music right now.
Mine isn't really that different, so yeah, I don't have much to say, but I just thought that was interesting. Usually we talk about music for so long, but we didn't mention it at all this episode until now, I guess.
Yeah, we spent like 30 minutes talking about it last time.
Yeah, rightfully so. There was a lot of good shit.
Anyways, if for some reason you made it this far into the episode, you're a real one, and we're gonna get Rashad on Real Ones with John Bernthal, so look out for that.
Yeah, I need that. Yeah, like next week. Don't worry.
When we go to LA in a month, big moves coming.
Yeah, if I see him in public,
we have a month to get you on Real Ones with John Bernthal.
Dude, if I see him in public, I will actually. I'll make it happen. Don't worry.
I hope he picks you up in his pickup truck.
Hell yeah. Yo, John Barthel, if you're listening to this, yo, DM me, man, at Contour on Twitter. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys next time. Follow us on Twitter and stuff. We never really plug our shit, but follow us. Follow at Contour, and then follow Brewing Tide, and follow us on all of our respective platforms. Yes. See ya.
Yeah. That shit's in the description. Yeah. It's in the description. So follow us, or I'll dox you. Yeah. Bye.
We'll behead someone next episode.